Hey guys, it's Amy with aim.to.plan, and today is day 6 for December Daily. So this December Daily is going to be, I hope, fairly short. I originally had a different story that I was planning to tell for the 6th of December. I took a photo like very early in the morning on the 6th, and I was just like, that's the perfect photo, that's the story I want to tell. But then I ended up taking a couple of other additional photos for different stories, and I decided to go ahead and try to stay within the realm of like something that was related to that specific day. And so I went ahead and took a photo, and let me actually show it to you, of myself. Every December Daily needs a selfie, I think. So anyway, I took a photo of myself, and the reason I decided to use this particular story is because this is kind of a weird thing, but like pretty much since COVID hit, I have not put on makeup since COVID. And so this was my first time like actually putting on some makeup. My hair looks a little messy here because this is kind of towards the end of the day. But I had my hair done, I had my makeup on, so it was just like like getting back into the normal routine of things. And so I thought I would take this photo. And this is the photo that I have. And here's the funny part. It's actually a photo that is me kind of doing a Vanna White move where I'm pointing to my planner stuff. And the story here is basically says planner time, as it says. Sundays are planning days for me, and this Sunday in particular was devoted to cleaning up and organizing all of the new planner goodies that I've purchased recently, and some not so recently, that just been stored haphazardly in the converted planner space, which is our dining room. The goal is to finish organizing everything and to donate sell what won't be used before Christmas. And so I did some of this organizing, and the reason I decided to tell the story is because this organizing was some of it was done at least during a weekly Zoom meeting that I've been hosting as a virtual planner meetup for some friends that I found on Facebook. And so I just thought it was a good story for Sunday, since this is something that I do on Sunday. On Sundays is just to plan and clean up and just kind of get ready for the next week. And so that's the story. And plus I liked that, I put on makeup. So that's all there. Now you notice that I printed it out like gigantic. And in fact, if you've been following these videos, you know that I actually work in a classic size happy planner, or at least, the base of it is the classic size. And so this is meant to be 7 by 9.25. And so I printed it way bigger than that. And what I was thinking was I would be able to kind of like do a double, something like with a hinge, and that was kind of the plan. But the first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and trim it out. Again, I'm just using a pair of scissors just because my guillotine is a little bit like it cuts a little bit crooked. I mean, it's time for a new paper trimmer. I should put that on my Christmas wish list, that I do want a new paper trimmer. That guillotine is old. One, I got it from my mom. Two, and it's just big and hard to carry around. 3, it's just nice to have something a little bit more portable. So I printed this slightly bigger than 9.25, so that way I could have some room to trim just in case I make a little bit of a mistake and like leave too much white space on one side or the other. So I'll go ahead and trim it first. I'm also noticing as I'm cutting this out that my ink is running low. Oh no. And so it's starting to show some lines in here, which is not a good thing. I think that I might have to switch to a different printing system for the rest of the December dailies if my ink is out, just because I don't have replacement ink and I'm not going to go get any more. Well, I guess I could just go get some more. So anyway, let me cut this. And you can see here as I'm cutting the second page out that I went ahead and put the story on here directly. I used, again, the same font that I've been using for my other videos or my other pages. And it is Symphony, I don't even know, but I'll put it in the description box so you can see that. And then this typewriter rustic is actually what it's called, not rustic typewriter, which is what I said in a previous video. But those are the 2 fonts that I've been using. And then the only other font, well, not font, but like I've also been like writing in some of the journaling, but it's kind of a mix of like some are printed out and some are not typed out, printed out. I'm not doing a great job. I'm leaving a lot of white. Maybe it would have been easier just to trim it with the guillotine. If you have a recommendation for a paper trimmer too, would love to hear it. I was thinking of the like We Are Memory Keepers paper trimmer. That would be the one that I would ask for. Okay, so then the next thing is I did print it. You can see here I printed it. Actually, I need a ruler. No, I'm not going to use a ruler. I'm just going to use a sheet of paper. Okay, so let me show you what's in here. So basically, where we left off last time was I finished this page 5 and I talked about like needing to cover up and like kind of do a reset, and I was going to use this paper and just, flip over and, do something with these papers. But I think what I'm going to do instead is, instead of doing that, I'm just going to create the pages that I printed out here as a double-sided like page like this that will just be able to flip over, and it will just be the new kind of like large image that I have in here. And I really just hate that these printed with lines. I mean, but it kind of like, you have to just go with it sometimes, right? So I'm pulling out this sheet just so I can use it as a measurement. I just don't want to like, I don't know where my ruler is, right? You saw my story. I've been cleaning up, like, and part of cleaning up is like having a gigantic mess before you get anywhere, right? So I actually need 2 sheets. So what I'm trying to do is really be able to cut it down. I don't know why I put it up there. To cut it down to the point where I could like have the full size, like a full size sheet, but also be able to like have enough room to fold it over and just make sure that I have enough space there. Okay, this is actually perfect. Okay, so what I'm thinking is I'm going to trim off this overlapping space right here. I'm going to leave it here, and you'll see why in just a second. Okay, so, and what I'm going to do is measure it down here. Now I did this in Word as I'm measuring all of these things out. I did this in Word, and what I'm doing here is like just creating this kind of corner where I want this sheet to kind of start. And so I'm gonna go off this edge. Okay, so as I'm cutting off this edge, I did create this in Word. I don't use like Illustrator or Publisher or any of these other like fancy publishing software. Not that I can't, but I just don't. So I just opened up Word. I had the photo. I took it in landscape, so it was already, a longer photo. And then what I did was put it in Word and basically like resized it so that way the picture was like at 9 and like 9.3, just to be a little bit bigger. And you'll notice, like, I mean, it's like slightly to the point where I might not even trim it, right? So I cut it at 9.3, and then like the photo, when you do it in Word, will then like create like, it'll be wonky, right? So then what I do is just adjust it a little bit so that way I get the chance to like I basically make the picture wrap text and change the text wrapping so that way it's in front of and then I just like reconfigure it so that way it fills up most of the page. Then I just duplicate that image, hit enter a bunch of times so it opens up a new page for me, and then I copy it over again, and then I just adjust it so that way the right side of the picture is showing. And then added text boxes. This is actually 2 text boxes. So planner time is in 1 with the font, and then this second one is another font. And you can see that this one has the shading filled in to be white. So that's pretty much it. Okay, so I'm done with that. I'll probably have to trim it just a little bit, but what I'm thinking is I'm actually going to create this as a fold like this. And again, trying to match it up pretty closely. And then I'm going to fold it over. Ooh. I'm going to need to draw this line, I think. Okay, so I'm going to pull a pencil. Come on, pencil. All right, I'm going to draw a line down here. And it creates, using a pencil, like creates this silver line, which really works. I'm noticing that it's kind of crooked here though. Why is that? Like this should be matched up, and I must not have matched it up perfectly. Okay, so it's going to be more so. Right, again, this is one of the reasons why, like playing with Word makes it Like, you can definitely do this. It's just harder. Okay, I feel like that's fairly close. So I'm just gonna call that right there. Okay, so oops, we'll see. I really want the eyebrow to be like, okay. All right, that looks better. Okay, so I'm going to, oops, draw this line. And again, I don't have a bone folder. Let me erase this little part. Not to the point that I'm picking up the ink, I hope. Okay, so that blended in fairly well. Okay, so I don't have a bone folder. So basically I just have to be really careful about folding this. I'm gonna fold it this way so I can see the line. Okay. And I am using a line, although I know, like, I mean, it's barely visible. All right, and from my origami days, without a bone folder, you just crease it like this. I would use a table, but this is like a tablecloth. All right, and then what I'm gonna do is actually place this photo right on top with glue. It will go here. And I'm putting it right on top. I do have to fold it open so I can see what I'm doing and make sure that these photos, oops, are matched up. Okay, so making sure that it's not too crazy off from the image. Okay, and then it is going to be one big photo like that. Now again, you can see here that like some of this needs to be trimmed, and again, this is why I left a little bit of an edge, so that way in case there's any white space I can trim it just a little bit. And I will trim, well, that one looks good. Let me see, I need to trim up here a little bit. Okay, and let's check down here. Oh yeah, there's a lot of white space down here. Okay, so let's do this side. Okay, let's check on this side. There's a little bit of white down here. Honestly, it's probably not even noticeable to anyone, right? Okay, and then this is the part that is going to be punched, and what I want to do is probably leave just enough space so that way this page can flip all the way out and it doesn't need to be punched. So what I'm going to do is put this page right inside this crease and lay it in, and I'm going to like actually offset it just a tiny bit like this. Whoops, at least on one side. Okay, and then I'm going to kind of draw a line right here. And then same thing here. This side is not exact in any way whatsoever, right? It's going to be actually kind of a funny little edge, but I will again fold it back in on itself and hopefully just keep it straight. This side does not matter quite so much, but I will double check to make sure that it is punched. Oh, see, yes, so this is a little bit shorter. It's a little bit shorter, so I need to tuck this in just the tiniest bit more. And I'm using the edges here just to align it. And again, scoring it with my fingertips. All right, and then I'm trimming this off. Okay, so once I punch it and put it into my planner, we're gonna call it a day. No embellishments or anything, although I might go back and add that. But what I'm gonna do is basically punch it and put it in, and again, use this as kind of a reset for my page. Now I have plenty of time. I didn't think about this, but like I really should have done something here. And I might actually reserve this to be day 7. So that might be the goal here, but I am realizing I did forget the number 6. So let me pull that and then we will be done. And I might come back, like depending on what I decide to do with the backside here, which I think I will just use as a day 7, and kind of tell a continuation story potentially. This is day 6. Then it will just depend. All right, so I think it will be a continuation, and we'll just see how that goes. Okay, so let's see where I want this number 6. I actually kind of like it here. No, definitely not. It can kind of go here too, but then like there's a lot of text on this side. Maybe just like right here in the corner. All right. Not quite so close. I am punching this side. All right, so just kind of keeping that in mind. So let's put it, or maybe I should put it, no, definitely down here. Okay, so I'm just gonna put it right here. All right, punching, putting it in, and now I know I have space on the back, and I have to figure out what I want to do for day 7, which will go on the back. You guys, like I'm recording this a little bit later in the day, and I don't have a story yet. I'm not ready. I'm not ready. Okay, so let me grab all of these sheets. If you've been watching these videos, you know that I'm a pretty messy crafter. Like, I do not clean up as I go. All right, so let me put these sheets in here. Flip back here. Stick in this number 6, this day 6, and this is how it goes. It's a picture of me. On this side, it just looks like a selfie, but on this side, you get the kind of fun Vanna White move where I'm showing off my planner space. And it has a story right on the front, and then I have all of this white space here, so I have to figure out what to do with that. So that's what it looks like. All right, I'm gonna call that good and call it a day. Okay, you guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't done so already, subscribe to my channel. All of my December daily videos are in a playlist, and so you can watch just those videos if you choose to do so. And until the next video, see ya.